Parents, I thought I would shoot you a video to go along with our weekly email. I know some people prefer to listen to the updates for the week rather than read them. It might stick a little bit better. So, playing into the multimodal ways of learning for everybody this year. So, first off, I hope everyone's having a great Labor Day weekend and gearing up for our first week of school starting at 8:15 on Tuesday. So, I'm just going to walk us through our weekly email. So, every week you'll get an email on Sundays that goes over what we had done the week before, what's coming up, any great updates that need to be attended to, and also our remote learning plans. And so I'll get into all of that in just a second. So for a smooth start to our Tuesday, we need to make sure that every student is able to log into their CPS email and a Google Classroom. So please let me know if you need your child's email or password. I did send those out last week. So if you want to recheck your email, just search for my name and the subject line is student email, and make sure that they get logged on. Also, you need to make sure your child is signed up for Seesaw because that is how we are going to be collecting work. All assignments will be posted in Seesaw and Google Classroom. And so if I just scroll down here on our screen, I do have the step-by-step of how to do Seesaw if you've not already done that. I think we have 21 students signed up so far, so we're getting close. So again, just go to app.seesaw.me and then choose I am a student and then type in this code. This code will expire on Tuesday. So if your child is not logged in yet, I will have to create a new code for you, but my goal is 100% of us should be signed into Seesaw by Tuesday. And then you're going to use your child's CPS email, which is this Google email, and their password to create it. That allows it to link up with Google Classroom. So when they're in Google Classroom and they click the link, it just shoots them directly to Seesaw without having to log back in. So hopefully we'll keep it super easy for everybody. So that's super important to be able to do. And then having your child log into Flipgrid, we will be using Flipgrid throughout certain assignments. Nothing for the first week. There is an introductory one there if you would like to have your child do it. I think there's 16 responses. They're super cute and it really helps me get to know students a little bit easier. And so the link is there and your child's password is just their name, lowercase. Look over the attached remote learning plan, which I'll walk us through in just a second. Make sure you go over the schedule with your child so that way they are feeling confident when they need to be on the computer and not. I also attached a visual schedule and I emailed that to you guys on Thursday, I believe. And then just make sure you're testing out your technology and that it's working. Students know how to access everything on there. Again, we're going to talk about Google Meets because that's how we're going to be meeting face-to-face. Students will be watching a video as part of their asynchronous learning on Tuesday, which goes over the rules. But here are some general rules. Make sure that students are on mute when they log on so it's not a lot of echoing noise. Cameras should be turned on unless I ask them to turn them off. Students need to raise their hand to indicate that they'd like to share and not shouting out unless it's an activity where I say you can unmute and share. Be respectful to others. We ask that there's no eating on screen. It's encouraged that students are sitting in a chair and that the computer is on a flat surface. Be prepared and be on time. And if your child needs to use the restroom, they can quickly go do so. If they need to type in really quick, say hey, I'm popping off for just a second, that's fine. And parents should not be on calls with their child. It's a privacy and a security issue. I know tech issues will arise, but you can help your child fix that issue and then allow them to continue with their learning. We just don't want parents sitting right next to their kids and, giving them answers or telling them to do certain things. Just imagine this is they're in class on the carpet with me. You wouldn't be there with them, so kind of treat it in the same manner. This week we will be talking, reading books about identifying how characters are feeling, using text evidence, and making connections to ourselves. We'll also be integrating books that talk about unique characters and how we are unique as individuals and just kind of getting to build our class community together. Students will be writing their first stories this week before we dive into mini lessons around small moment writing. which is super exciting. And I'll talk more about these units in a parent workshop that I will share the date with you this coming week. Word work, we're going to be focusing on rhyming because this should be a review from kindergarten, and then we'll dive into our word work next week. And then in math, we're going to begin to explore where we use and see numbers around us, and then also dive into our first module of learning, which is about finding embedded numbers and making sums and differences to the number up through the number 10. So for example, the number 5, there are different combinations of parts that you can make the sum of 5. For example, 4 and 1, 3 and 2, 5 and 0. So we're going to be modeling those using number bonds. And then we also just have some updates. Students will need to be logged into their Gmail or to their Google Meet by 8:15. To start our morning meeting. The links are going to be in the remote learning plan and in Google Classroom, and I'll get to that in just a second. If a student logs on after 8:30, it is a tardy, and if they log on at 10:30 or after, they will be marked as half day, and if they don't log in at all, it's absent. All assigned work will be collected through Seesaw, and these links are on the remote learning plan and in Google Classroom. And I will not take grades on anything this first week because I just want students to be practicing on Seesaw. I did print off the work for the first week so they can complete it on the computer or by hand and then take a picture in the assignment to upload it in there. And then I just gave an example of a screenshot of where you can do that. So this button right here, this photo button, you can just click it, and on the Chromebook or iPad, it will pop up the camera, and you can take your completed picture and upload it into the assignment. Again, I have put all of our websites that we'll be using. So Google Classroom with our code to get in, our Google Meets link, CPS email, and Seesaw and Flipgrid are the major ones that we need to be taking a look at right now. So if you are in Google Classroom, so remember, in our Google Classroom, there's a big banner at the top. The Meet link will be visible here for students. So this is one way that they can click to get onto our Google Meet at 8:15. Now, anytime we're meeting in person on the computer, it's going to be the exact same link. The same goes for when they have PE, art, music, and Chinese. It will be this exact same link. So there's no need to find different links. This is the one they are using. And so they just click on that and it will pop in our Google Hangout, and then they can join from there. When they are looking for classwork, it will be in our classwork category, and when something is assigned, it will be blue, and we'll have, you can click on it. So here's our practice one that students can do. So this says click on the Seesaw link and complete the activity. So they would just click on here, and it pops them right over to the Seesaw app to complete that activity. And so let's go ahead and do that quickly. So if I click on here, it will take them directly to Seesaw. And then what they do to complete an activity is they will say add a response, and then they can also listen to the directions here. So I've made directions for every assignment that they listen to. And then they can click add a response, and I'll be a sample student. And then in here, you can always go back and view the instructions. This tool here will create a text box that students can type in. And if you want to get rid of it, you just click on these 3 buttons and say delete. This, they can talk and they can share things. This is where you can upload a photo or a video or upload something from your computer. And then here is just some fun things for backgrounds and fun designs. And at the bottom of the paper, I might have to make this bigger for a second for you to see, are the pencil, the other tools at the bottom that they can use. This one here allows you to drag objects. Some activities will need that. And then we have our pencil tool here, which allows you to write. You can erase also. Just like this. If you want to add other pictures or pages, you can say add a page. And then here you can upload a photo, and it allows you to upload it right there. When you are done, you're going to click the green check mark to say you are finished with it. Or if you want to come back to it, you can hit the draft button, and that will allow you to come back to it. And then once everything is turned in, then it allows me to give feedback to students. So it's really important that we do that so I can provide accurate feedback to everybody. And so that is one place that you will be able to find your assignments. I will also be creating or sharing our remote learning plans. So this has everything off to the side by time, and it matches the visual schedule that I gave everybody. And it has anything that's yellow is live, so with the Google Meet with me. And then it has anything that you'll need to bring with you, so like a dry erase board and a marker for Wednesday's morning meeting. And all of that is in your supply bags. Thank you to everyone who picked up their supply bags. Last I checked, everyone except 3 had picked up their supply bags. I think that was the best in the school, so good job, first grade. And then anything that's not in yellow is going to be asynchronous, which is not with me. And then we also have, so there's links here. These are going to be the same things that you will see in Google Classroom as well. So there's just multiple ways that you can get to this, whatever is easiest. These will not be live though. The assignments won't be live until the day that they are assigned. So if you click on them, it's not going to allow you to complete the activity until that day. And then we still have our live times here, and then lunch and recess, everything you need. And then don't forget that the first day of school, after they have Chinese, so they'll have Chinese for about 30 minutes, and then that's done. They'll have the end of the day, and then they'll give you time to get to Mitchell for our car parade. And first grade goes at 2:10. So I'll even add that right here, is at 2:10. You can wear your mask, or you must wear your mask. Social distance, you can have a sign, you can ride your car, you can ride your bike, be sure you have a helmet on. I'm wearing my Tour de France shirt because it's going on right now. So make sure that you come by, say hi. It was so lovely to seeing so many students at supply pickup. So that was really nice. Now I feel like I know every face and every name, and that'll just be really awesome. So that is a quick overview of everything. Please read through the email and remote learning plans carefully. I do know this is a huge ask. I know that there's a lot happening, and it's going to take a long time to have this feel like a normal routine thing. I know, and I know that this may not be the most appropriate ask of young primary students, but we're going to make and do the best that we can, because I know every student is capable and every student is going to make such great gains and growth this year. I know that if we just work together, we can really make a positive outcome in something that seems, maybe a little bit difficult and tricky right now. But I have faith that all of us can do this together, and it will be bumpy, but we'll work together. I just ask that you're patient, that you're flexible, and that we'll just continue to work together. And just know that I may not have all the answers right away, because this is new to me too, and I'm trying to make sense of it all and do the best that I can as a teacher in order to support all of you. Some things may change, and that's okay. We will make do, and we will work together as a community of learners together. And I just want to say that I am really excited to start the year. I'm really excited to get to know all of our students and create a strong classroom community. So then one day when we actually can be together, it'll be like we've been together all year, and it'll just be so special and so wonderful. So please let me know if you have any questions or concerns, but I'm really excited for 8:15 on Tuesday to see all students and to kick off a great year of learning. All right, thank you for sitting through this really long video. Our weekly email videos will not be this long going forward, so I will see everyone later. Bye.